Hey guys, it's another week. It's another hobby vlog. Today we're going to be looking at more Space Marines, another week of Space Marines. But there is also some exciting things. The Death Guard Codex released, although there's none here in front of me. Hopefully today I'm going to go pick it up and yeah, I'll be able to show it in just a second, hopefully. Super excited to see the new rules and stuff, so that'll be fun. And thankfully, with the points changes and everything like that, it doesn't look like at least my army doesn't change too much, which is pretty cool. At some point in the future, I'll definitely show it off and go through it. But for now, yeah, it's good. I don't have to go out and rebuy a whole bunch of stuff, which sometimes happens when they redo codexes. But this one seems pretty good and still like it's in flavor with the War of the Spider stuff and all of that. So that's been really cool, but we'll talk about that later, I guess. For right now, I thought I'd just show where I'm at. So all that Space Marine stuff in front of me, all these little guys here, the Blade Guard Eradicators, a few of these Assault Intercessors and the bikes, and the Chaplain up there. They're the last bunch of stuff that I need to finish off my army, which is awesome. So all of the basic steps hopefully will be done this week, and then they'll be at a basic battle standard level, I guess. You know, the armor done, pretty much all the other secondary details at least base coated, and the bases will be dry brushed, so the whole army will feel like a painted army. I've done a little bit of a painting tutorial on how to do the metal, which is on the YouTube channel now, which goes through the process. It's just a nice, fast way to get an army done. When I came back into the hobby, I was like, all right, well, I don't have all my old stuff with me. It's all packed away, so what am I going to do? And I started with the Death Guard. That was a much longer process to paint. But going into my second army, I'm like, I just need a Space Marine army painted so I can play around with the rules and get into it and get back into the flow of painting armies. Because, you know, like, I think I spent about 14 years away from the hobby and trying to paint an entire 2,000 point army in one shot. I used to be really good at it. I don't know if I've ever said on any of these videos, but I used to work for the company, and we used to do tons of 24-hour challenges. It's really interesting these days when I look at YouTube and I look at what's, you know, the content that's out there. You know, me and the other guys that were in retail at that time at GW, we used to do these 24-hour challenges all the time. You know, we're teaching people how to paint, you know, a whole painting table full of kids, you know, like of all ages, you know, 9, 10 of them, teaching them all at once, all different techniques, all the same time. And it's really fun to see like people taking up the challenge of that on their YouTube videos and doing what we used to do like every day, you know. And we had no YouTube channel to show it off or anything like that. Just, you know, in the field, as it were, you know, in the trenches, just helping people with their hobby on a day-to-day basis. And that was always really interesting. And you know, you get pretty good at all of that. And so my painting skills were, you know, I would just be able to like churn stuff out and just get through a 24-hour challenge really well. So I'm curious to, once I get back into the full swing of things, getting these armies painted, to have a go at that and maybe film it. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun to see how the hobby's grown over the years, and everyone's kind of taken up some of these ideas that we used to just do in the stores every day kind of thing, at least here in Australia. But anyway, that's a topic for another time. But yeah, so suffice to say, the army's looking good. I've done the subsurface layers on my 3D print here, which will be getting released in February. So it's about a week away. I've done a video on how to do the subsurface, but it's not out yet. That'll come out in the first week of Feb. And yeah, this has been really interesting to have a go at and just try some different techniques. And I'll be doing it'll be like a 2-part series. So I'll be doing a second one as well that'll show the final layers over the top. But this is like the underpainting or the sketch. So yeah, he's coming along. And I did the same thing for the Chaplain here on the skin. So I did a little quick tutorial on how to get nice sort of, I guess, heavy metal inspired skin, which you know can be hard to do, but this literally has, I think, about 3 layers and a highlight or something, or maybe less, I don't know. It's very, very easy to achieve this. You've just got to work on your neatness, I guess. But apart from that, the actual layers of the colors and everything is very simple. There's not even any ink washes or anything on that. It's just simple layering. And I talk about that being a great way to begin, just focusing on a small area and practicing that layering. But anyway, so this is the first part of the hobby vlog for this week. And yeah, I'll see you soon, hopefully with the Death Guard Codex. All right, I'm back. So yeah, I went and I got the Death Guard Codex. So here it is. Yeah, let's get him in focus. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So yeah, this book is going to be really cool. The camera is kind of in a fixed position right now, so I can't show you the book. But let's see. Yeah, there's just so much in here. Let's see if we've got some cool art in here that I can show. Yeah, like this. So I remember, playing back in third edition and all of that, in the golden times. And Chaos had a really good book. It was awesome. I think that's third edition, with the Dark Elder and the Black Templars. Chaos had a really great codex then. It's definitely like ahead of its time, for that era, I guess. And yes, some of this book reminds me of that, like some of the changes, some of the ways in which you're paying for upgrades and to do with the marks and so on. That all feels very much like they're taking from the older game, which is super cool that they're trying to reintegrate some of that. I felt that a lot with War of the Spider as well, that they were trying to re-add some of the ideas that look like had been lost in later editions. I never played some of the editions after. As I said, I've been away for 14 years, but what it looks like when I came into the end of 8th is that they kind of were missing a little bit of that flavour that used to be there. And looks like they're putting it back in, which is really good. It's good to see for the future Chaos armies that are coming, because they're probably going to take up a lot of this and move it forward even further, which would be really great because it's such a strong faction visually and gameplay wise, so interesting to play. Every single one of them is different, which you can kind of say for Space Marines, but Chaos just go that extra step. You have so many unique units and unique characters that really do play very differently. Thousand Sons play totally different to Death Guard and so on. So yeah, I'm really happy to see all that happening, because I was kind of worried. I was like, which way are they going to go with all this stuff? But it looks like they're reintroducing some classic kind of concepts and rules for Chaos, which is yeah, as I said, really cool. So anyway, that's I just wanted to show you that. I'm pretty excited by it. I'll be getting on to painting some Death Guard and finishing off my army there. I'll definitely show that on these vlogs. But that's the start of the week, I guess. Hopefully I should have more. I'll try finishing the print there. Maybe some on the Chaplain, and these all these Space Marine units here will get their highlighted armor and all that stuff, and the base is done. But yeah, hopefully I've got some more time this week to continue ranting along about what I'm doing. But otherwise, yeah, I'll catch you soon, I guess, for the next part. Well, here we are again. So it's later in the week now, and yeah, I've done a bit of work. I managed to get all of that armor done on these Space Marines. So a bit of the dry brushing and stuff, and a bit of the black and the base. So it's one of the bikers. Here we go, Blade Guard. Yeah, so I managed to get a fair amount done. Not much more on the Chaplain, just his base. But I'm pretty happy with where this is. So this is the last section of the Space Marine Army. So now, yeah, I'll probably leave that here for this week, and then move on to Death Guard next week, which should be really fun. I want to start cracking into that. Some of those ones that I've shown before, the Demon Prince and all of that, and work on their armor and all that sort of stuff, so that the army comes together, which would be really nice. But I did, however, manage to finish this. Yeah, so he's done. And incidentally, he'll be out on Monday, Australian time, so 1st of Feb, and he'll be free for a month for download STL files off the Blighted Gods website. So that's blightedgods.net/store. You can get the link in the down there on this video. And if it's February of this year, if you're watching it, then you can download him for free. And then after that, he'll cost a couple of dollars or whatever. So yeah, I'm really happy with him. I did a little video of a 2-part series, which will come out, I think, the day after and the day after that, which is on doing monster flesh and sort of subsurface scattering and the colors that exist under the skin and all of those type of things, and how to paint that. So if you do download him, check that out. Sorry for the footage if it's a little bit dodgy. I'm still using an iPhone. I haven't upgraded yet or anything. So yeah, but the information that's in it should be good, and you can definitely replicate what I've done there. So you can see, there we go. So you can see there's a whole lot of variation of color and tones all in his skin. And that's all just been built up with like thin glazes. Yeah, really fun technique and very relaxing, you know. It's not too much of a heavy technique. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I got this week. That'll probably be it in terms of my hobby stuff. I put together a lot of videos this week for next week. So yeah, but I hope that's been inspiring to take a look at how I've attacked doing a Space Marine army. And I think I'll do a little bonus shot here, and I'll get the army out so you can see what it looks like. So this is all about just getting the army to a basic standard, and then from there I can go back and do individual models, smaller groups of models and stuff like that while I do other projects, so that the army will slowly get painted over time, like to its final result. But for now, it's like at least basically painted so that everything has paint on it. The bases are done pretty much, and you know, you can play games with painted models and, you know, just have a better experience on the tabletop. And that was the whole point. So I'll definitely be finishing off the chaplain next week with the Death Guard. So you'll see him slowly get worked, and I'll probably post photos on Instagram if you're interested to see what it looks like when it's all done in a still shot. Yeah, that's it. So let's get on to the little bonus round. And boom. Okay, so this is 2,000 points. I think actually on the nose. So it's, yeah, exactly 2,000. So we have Captain. He's all done. We have the Chaplain on the way to getting done, I guess. We have the Judge, the big man himself. So he should be fun to use. I haven't used this army yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. It's all the Indomitus stuff. As we all know, that's like all the OP stuff at the moment, so it should be cool. The Apothecary there, the true champion of the chapter, the real leader. He's just amazing. So he should be really good in this list. You know, you've got your Blade Guard moving into the midfield with, you know, the Apothecary, the Judge, the characters. It should be, you know, a no-brainer. It should work really well. Supported by the Eradicators here. We've got the Outriders for, you know, various types of board control, you know, taking objectives and so on, and, you know, just generally moving around to hold ground. And then behind that, we've got the real body of the army. So we've got our squads of intercessors. There's 20 there into 5-man squads, and each has a sergeant with a power fist. So sergeants have the bone helm with the black visor, and yep, I've got at least one of these finished. So then the regular guys have the black helmet with the bone. It'll make it easier to pick them out and stuff. So you can see one of the sergeants here. He's got his bone helm on. And then, yeah, all the characters, they have the full bone helm. And yeah, and then we come over, oh yeah, and then the assault intercessor, so 20 of those, 2 squads of 10, same deal again. Characters have the power fists. So there's like, what's that, 6 power fists mixed in with the regular troops. And then, yeah, with 40 bodies, all 2 wounds, it's 80 wounds on the table. You know, I'm old school, so for me, when I think about it, I think it's 80 Space Marines on the board, not 40, because, you know, back in the day, Space Marines have 1 wound, firstborn, and that kind of list, if you were to run an 80 strong tactical squad, you know, Space Marine list, which I think back in the day, yeah, that would have been, I'm pretty sure, I think the points for them back then was around 15 points or something. So you could almost run 100, I remember people doing But yeah, 80 would have been on the money there. And those type of lists back in the day were very strong. You didn't have a lot of I hope that didn't show up on the sound. I'll edit that out. You know, those kind of lists were really strong back in the day. And yeah, so when I think about it, I think in those terms. And so for me, 80 wounds across Space Marine, you know, bodies is pretty insane. So that should really hold the center of the board really well. It's like a midfield kind of control list. Yeah, should all go super well. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. You can see now, if you tackle an army this way, don't obsess over just finishing everything. Get everything to a minimum requirement that you need to have it feel like it's painted and there. You know, do the bases, get all that to you know, that basic level. You can now see how the army is going to feel, how it's going to look across the board, and you can go back then and just start picking out the characters, do single models, paint them up, and really get into it. And I think that's a great way to get an army on the table relatively fast. It's taken me a bit less than 2 months. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. I think it's cool, but it's now time for Death Guard. So next week you'll be seeing me do that, and we'll have a chat about it then. But otherwise, have a great rest of your week. Happy hobbying, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one, guys.